Horrible.
What kind of dog?
He
They are super vocal, aren't they?
He just likes to be in control.
Have you tried like eating coffee?
No, I don't want to.
If you do try something like they're higher end dog trap, and they have those levels, so you like go from 0 to like 130, so you keep it real little. They have a vibration function. Yeah. Yeah, it's like putting remote control on your dog.
I mean, once we get done, if there are any more comments, she's still here, yeah.
I'll leave this for the court.
More. Andrew, do you have any more cards? Because we have 5 up here. All right, it's 6:30, so we'll get started. Thank you all for coming to the Blendon Township Police Levy question and answer period. I'm John Belford. I'm the Chief of Police here, and this is our Fiscal Officer, Joanne Burry. The meeting is being live streamed. The meeting format, we'll be answering questions tonight about the Franklin County Board of Elections ballot issue number 22, the Blendon Township Police District levy. Unincorporated areas only, proposed tax levy additional, police levy 4.53 mils, $159 for each $100,000 of the county auditor's appraised value, continuing period of time commencing in 2024. We've asked the audience members to print any questions on the provided 3x5 cards and turn them into the facilitator at the entrance table. Questions must be submitted in writing. There will not be a podium or a microphone for the public. This meeting will be streamed on YouTube. Joanne, did you have any opening comments?
I do not. Go ahead and get started.
Okay. So we've kind of gone through the questions and divided them up by which ones are more appropriate for the chief of police and which ones are more appropriate for the fiscal officer. I've got one where the person wrote that they are interested in increased patrol and vehicles parked at Sunbury and Valley Quail. So anytime you want additional police patrol or additional areas of concern, you can always call our police station Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at 614-882-8500. Ask for me or leave a message for me or my voicemail. Or you can email me at jbelford@blendontwp.org. We're very interested in any feedback or concerns residents have. If you think you need extra patrol in an area, I probably agree with you, and I can direct patrol officers to spend more time in different areas. Not forever, but usually I'll assign them a week at a time and take a look at the activity and see what they're finding there and seeing if there's a need to extend the patrol beyond that. So anytime you have concerns about extra patrols, please just contact us at the police station, and we'll try to address your concerns as best we can.
Okay. So I'll start with, this is a 2-part question. The first part is, did the police department get any additional revenue uplift due to the appraisal changes and overall large increase in our overall tax bill? So the answer to that first question is no. There's something called a reduction factor. So when there's a voted levy, The voted levy is intended to bring in so much resources, and that's it. So when there's a change in appraisal, they apply a reduction factor, so the levy is not producing any more than it was intended to produce. So for 2023, we brought in $2,375,000. For 2024, we're at $2,322,000. The second part is, if so, how is that factored into the levy proposal? So for the new levy, we did take into consideration the new values. So with the increased property value, we don't have to ask for as much in levy. So that's how the appraisals were considered for this one. The next one was just wanting to learn more about the issue. So this is a 4.53 mil levy, and it's for the operations of the police department only. It goes into its own special revenue fund. For operations, it includes salaries and benefits, so the amount of police officers we have and making sure they're paid for appropriately and they have benefits. And then other operations, some of their other operations would be professional services and contract services for 911 systems, operating their vehicles, and so on and so forth. So this issue is being requested for the continued operations of the police department.
I would just like to add to that one that 6 years ago, when our fiscal officer at the time, Wade Eastep, put together the last levy, he said, in about 5 years, you'll need to go back to the residents and ask for another levy. Wade was very adamant about never asking for residents for a dime more than we needed to operate. So he went ahead and projected what we would need to operate for the next 5 years. He looked at inflation, the price of gas, everything that would be going up, wages, insurance, workers' comp, and projected that out. And when he was at this last Q&A for the last levy, was pretty adamant. He said, yeah, this will cover the increase in operations for about 5 years, and then we'll need to go back to the voters and ask again, as all services, all materials, car parts, repair parts, everything continues to go up.
What does the levy do for Blendon Township? Again, it's for the continued operations of the police department. We did a similar exercise as Wade did, and we did a 5-year projection based on the knowledge that we have as of today. So this particular levy is forecasted out for approximately 5 years. However, there are a lot of things outside of our control that sometimes change that. One being that we're going in for negotiations here shortly with the police department. So depending on how those negotiations turn out, we may need to adjust our forecast.
So if I can also add to that, what a lot of people don't know is that the police department does operate separately out of a police fund, not out of the other funds that the town. There's a road fund, there's a general fund, and the department operates out of the police district fund, which is totally funded by these levies. Unless, yeah, because even like if a police officer writes a traffic citation and there's a sharing fee, like certain laws have certain traffic tickets, like not wearing a seatbelt, the entire amount has to go to seatbelt education. No amount of that goes to the county or the township. But on a speeding ticket, the county takes a portion because our tickets go down to the county and they're heard in the courts down there and processed down there. And a portion of that funds comes back to the township, but it does not come to the police department. It goes back into the general fund. Same as if money comes to the police department through way of like an asset forfeiture, which doesn't happen very often. But if there was an arrest with like a person charged with trafficking and drugs, and if the court ordered the cash they had with them seized, that money would still be paid back, and the general fund, the trustees could earmark it for the police department or have it fenced for the police department. But that doesn't happen very often. We're almost exclusively operating off of the police levy. Okay. All right, we have one other question, and this question has to do with one of our officers who's currently going through a pending court case. So That was only one question received about that. It's about the pending court case of a Blendon Township police officer. Any questions about this officer's pending court case should be referred to the office of the Franklin County Prosecutor. Okay, and that being all the questions, thank you very much for attending, and thank you for your questions tonight.
Pick it up.